So pivoting, this is shout out to Doug McKegney. The weekly goals. As a man gets closer to his goal, he realizes that he may not be working on the right thing. He may not be going about it the right way. Life situations change. You get fired, you get a job promotion, you get a job offer, you might have to move. You fall in love and want to move to a different country. Life happens. So these quarterly goals are set up with the understanding that we have to pivot constantly in life as things change. What we as a squad do is we grill a guy when he wants to change his direction to make sure that he's making a change for the right reasons. So if he's wanting to work on his career and then a partner shows up and he really wants to go in, okay, develop yourself. But do you really have to completely change your goal to this? We simply have the guys through the fire of the squad verify whether they're changing away from a goal because they want to avoid the shadow they have to confront, or are they actually being presented with a new opportunity that's worth seizing? Because this is one of the things that happens in life. Opportunities come, they don't necessarily come as often as we'd like. So this pivoting is how the guys navigate setbacks, obstacles. House burns down, holy shit, yeah, your quarterly goal is probably going to need to change just because shit went down. You need to have surgery. Like, these things happen. So this allows us to scale up and down the pressure that we put on ourselves and the direction that we're going in order to not cause a mental breakdown because we're putting too much pressure on one specific thing and being too rigid with a goal framework. This is a framework. It's meant to help us navigate through time going forward and get things done and grow. It's not an absolute that must get done.
This is something that we definitely been focusing on the past few quarters. As you know, a lot of times, especially in the men actually in the squad, and I think it's typical across the board, but some men struggle quite a bit with recognizing wins and celebrating. So that's one thing that we've been really focusing on, and it's really important part of the whole process. It's really important to celebrate wins whenever we notice it. Quarterly goal being achieved is a big win. Weekly goal achieved is also a win. And it's like the idea of stacking wins, right? And then celebrating wins together, creating a culture of celebration, and just creates this forward moving momentum in many ways. And we've been doing it for the several quarters now, and we've seen huge progress, I think. And then now it's at a point where men can actually recognize their wins themselves, and then that actually is related to whole self-esteem, confidence piece as well too, right? But this win and celebration, I think it's in a way it's a pillar of our process, because we just can't keep going. It's one of those things, if you just keep setting goals, achieving goals without celebrating, it leads to burnout. It leads to lack of purpose, lack of fulfillment. So that's why we really try to incorporate it. That's why we actually built this win component into our weekly check-in as well. Is there any win that we need to celebrate about your partner? So we put that into our structure so that we actually make sure to capture wins for men in that process. You want to add on this, Freddie?
Yes, because celebrations typically happen culturally. Feast days, holidays, those kinds of things, birthdays. Especially with COVID happening right now, so much of that is cut off. The natural celebration moments that we would normally have. We have to manufacture reasons to celebrate. And if you think about it, it's just as valid to celebrate a small win as it is to celebrate a birthday. Hey, you lived for another year. Why celebrate? You just stayed alive. But hey, why not celebrate? Because if we celebrate, then life has more celebrations. We often get so focused on being productive that we stop to recognize how productive we've been and enjoy the fruits of that growth and let it really sink in. And what happens as a result of the quarterly goals is we're a part of each other's lives, and we're watching each other struggle and work on these things. And I've seen guys write a book in a quarter. I wrote a book in a quarter with the help of one of the guys in my squad. And to go from not having written a book to having written a book, it almost doesn't feel real. And I even had resistance to celebrating because like, well, it's just a rough draft. It needs a lot of, dude, he said, Brady, you wrote a fucking book, stop and celebrate. And it's just like, yeah, then I stopped and I let it sink in that I did something worth celebrating. And I had huge resistance to that. And as I stopped and gave myself permission to celebrate, I spent time with family in a positive mood, and I didn't feel guilty about not working. Because this is part of it too. It's like, well, why stop and celebrate? I could get another thing done. But what's the point in getting things done if you never stop and enjoy the shit you've done?
Yeah.
And also, hey, that wasn't just you in a vacuum doing that. There was other people pouring energy into you, supporting you. Share the positive mood with them because you shared the downtime with them too. So partly what we do with these celebrations and these wins is that we encourage guys to try to include the people who made their win possible and celebrate on a scale that's appropriate for the win. So if you get your weekly goal met, having a movie night with your girlfriend who's supporting you by taking care of your lunches so you have more time to work on your whatever thing you're working on, that's an appropriately balanced win. For a quarterly goal, a weekend away, depending on what the goal is, how hard it was, what's possible for you. It's important to scale the celebration to the scale of the win. And it's important to share it with people because the more you share it and the more you feel it, the more it's real. And the more the wins stacking up becomes a positive feedback loop. Because now it's not just work, work, work forever, then die. It's work, win, work, win, work, win, work, win, work, win, work, win. And these celebrations start stacking up and you become a fun person to be around.
Yep, absolutely. Well said, Brady.
Yeah.
And I think that is the end of everything.
That is the end. You're free. Congratulations, guys.
Great man. There you go.
Yeah.
Enjoy implementing the process if you're interested in it. You'll let us know if you have any questions.
Absolutely. Open for questions and comments, concerns. Take care, guys.
All right. Take it easy.